Hi and welcome everybody. For those of you that are new, my name is Barrett Laurie. I am not only the gayest thing on this side of AuthorTube, but I run this channel. Today is an exciting day because we are using a different format than you are used to for this book release party. This is a soft launch for the talk show I'm starting in February, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Please denote any questions you have for Shanon with a Q. If any authors or writer entrepreneurs are interested in joining me for this starting in February, reach out to me via my email. You can find it in the About section of my channel page. So let's talk about my guest, SD Huston. She was told that she was weird as a child because she spent summers in the back rooms of libraries reading and drawing everything she researched. SD Huston embraced her eccentric passions for writing, even as she consistently traveled all her life with some years spent in the US Army, then gaining an MFA. From Spalding University, she always immersed herself in reading and writing about magical lands and world mythologies. She particularly loves Irish mythology with its Celtic roots, which found its way center stage in her YA fantasy novel Blood of the Lily and its sequel, Soul of a Rose. She continues to embrace all the quirkiness in her life, especially her autistic son, who sees life as a grand adventure filled with beasts and monsters that need to be conquered. Other love interests include her family and fur babies consisting of 4 cats and a dog. With that, let me welcome Shanon SD Huston. Welcome. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
We're good. We're good. We made it. We made it through the opening without any glitches, which is always an exciting thing, and I'm happy about it. We're going to say hello to all the people that turned out for you for your big release day. Anita's here. Richard Holiday is here. Bless him. Colin Clark. Devin Cutting, welcome, welcome, the MVP of AuthorTube. Sam, CB394 is here. Good to see you, CB. Mama Maggie Ward, hello. Your co-host, Ben Pick, Running to Write, of tell me again, Self-Publishing Tips and Tricks podcast?
Yes.
Did I get it right? Really?
Right. Yeah.
No, okay, wow. I was sure I would mess it. Oh, sorry.
I messed it up last night. I was talking about it to my husband. I said, yeah, the ticks and trips.
That's what I was doing with Ricky when I was talking. Hi, Grayson. That's what I was doing with Ricky when I was talking about it, because I kept getting tripped up on the words, and he was like, no, don't try it. Hi, Lauren. Good to see you. Morgan, hello. Good to see you. Morgan did an office video that hopefully I'll get my office together after watching it. It's my mission today. Hey, Rachel Terry, just watched your video today on your TBR. Thank you. Good video. I've added some books to my list. Evangeline Perry, good to see you. Evangeline, just watched your video today, too. I feel like it's half the people I've been stalking all day have turned out for us. The one and only Novel Nana Bex is here. Good to see you, Bex. And Jennifer Brown. Hey, Jennifer, good to see you. I just helped Jennifer on a blurb this week. Didn't really help, just read over and gave some feedback. Great blurb. Kristen writes a novel. Hey, Kristen, good to see you. So glad you're with us. Dan Hook was here super early. He was over in the chat with us over at Margaret Kennard's chat. Amelia is here. Hey, Amelia. She and I were voice noting each other on Instagram just a little bit ago. Hey, Natalie Locke. How are you? Chris Kinney, her lovely husband. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Good to see you. Nicole's here. Hey, Nicole. There is Margaret Kennard. We manifested her. Welcome, Margaret. Good to see you. And the one and only Michael CB Chin. Hey, Michael, how are you? All right, friends. Shanon is with us at long last. So here's the thing. If anyone has questions for Shanon, just put a Q ahead of them so I can star them, and we will come back to them in just a bit. But Shanon, tell me a little bit about the goals you have for 2022. It's the beginning of the year. So yes. What do you want to do this year?
So I did put a video out on it, and I was actually trying to, I didn't write it down. I made it a specific video to do it. I had to go back and write it all down. But then, I've seen Chandra Arthur's channel, her videos about 300 goals and how you can take like those big goals and then break them down into smaller and smaller and smaller goals. So of course that's what I'm trying to do. And that's actually my goal right now, because I just started. This is one of my journals I made. I'm a peach.
I love that.
And,
that's adorable.
Yeah. So I just started writing my 300 goals and started writing that. So, I want to write 4 books this year, which I'm writing the 3rd book right now in my trilogy. And I have my next series in my head, and I've started kind of outlining basic points, but not a whole lot. And yet, and I want to publish 3 books this year, which Soul of the Rose is number 1. So that one's published. I've got 2 more I want to publish this year, along with a box set of my trilogy, probably at the 1-year mark. And then, so and lots of plans for my YouTube channel. Just started the Self-Publishing Tips and Tricks show with my co-hosts. And so have that going, and I have a couple other series that I have planned. I want to have come out. Hopefully, the first one will start coming out toward the end of January, and then I don't know when I'm doing the next one yet.
How do you do goal tracking, Shanon? Like, what do you do to kind of keep yourself accountable? Do you just go back to your notebook and kind of tried and true, see if you checked it off the list, or do you kind of give it to other people to kind of come back and check in with you and say, hey, how's this one going? Or what's your plan?
I think I'm my hardest taskmaster. Master.
We're both sober, like
Yes, we are. I promise.
I swear. But
I was drinking at the other one, but not this
yeah.
one.
Okay.
I would love. Who did we watch earlier? Somebody we watched.
Lisa Daly.
Lisa Daly, yes, and the gentleman on there, the story detective, and he showed his board where he had it like outlined, like this week it's this and this week it's this, and he's going to check it off. And I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. If it was just me and me only in my life, sure, I could do that. But with having a kid and a husband who's like, we need some family time.
Right. You're like.
Yeah. So I have big goals that I know I want to get done. And I figure out each day, I have my journal, wherever I put that, my other journal that I have my daily planner. Each day I just write down what I know I want to get done that day. So
yeah, I love that. Well, we are going to waste no time. I am going to, real quick, before we start talking about Soul of a Rose, we're going to do our first giveaway because that's what we're about here. It's party. Yay. We're giving things away. So if you're here, hey, JC Carpenter, welcome. We love you. So here is the thing. We are doing 3 questions, 3 giveaways. First one is a $5 Amazon gift card. Second one is a $10 Amazon gift card. Third one is a paperback copy of Shanon's book. The way to claim your prize, you will need to email me. You can find my email address on the About page of this channel. So go there, hit the email button, prove to them you're not a bot, send me an email with your address, and I will either ship you the thing or with your email address, I will send you the gift card, okay? So first question, US residents only. Sorry, friends, I don't know how to give gift cards to Brits without making it a headache. So what is a leprechaun? First person that I see it in the comment section is going to win it. There is a certain word that I'm looking for in the definition that will make it official. So, or, a certain adjective that I'm looking for. So what is a leprechaun? Go for it. First person to answer is getting a $5 Amazon gift card, and away we go. Oh, and it's mean because I set the slow feature on it too. So I don't think they can even comment quickly, which is even funnier. We may need to adjust that for the new show, but oh well. So first question is that one. With that, Shanon, let's get to the questions that you got already from the audience because I love it. First question, Lauren Adele, is what's your favorite thing about researching mythology? I
actually just love research. So I'm like one of those oddballs who love researching things and finding out new stuff. And I think mythologies are interesting because, well, they started as ways to explain phenomenon that we didn't know how to explain before we really had science and technology. So I love it. I love the made up stories.
Yes. Let's see. Nope. It's very close. Magically Delicious is getting very close to what I'm looking for. So we're very close. And Grayson, thank you for that. I needed that giggle today. That's funny. So the research thing, do you think that comes from having done so much schooling? Like, I feel like by the time someone survived a master's degree, like the research is like second nature. It's like a second part of your brain that you've adopted at that point.
No, you remember all those summers I spent in the library that people said I was weird? Those were summers. I didn't read fiction books. I was researching, and I had a huge sketchbook that I drew out everything I researched, and I made notes and everything. So yeah, I've been doing that since I was little. Actually, in my undergraduate degree, I had my BA's in psychology, and I wanted to run my own research as a student. And I found a mentor who said, "I have no money. Go find your own money." So I wrote for a grant. I got a grant, and I ran my own research as an undergraduate. So
that's amazing. Yeah. I did not do that. I was a grunt person for other people all the way through, even my master's. They were going to make me a grunt through most of the PhD too, which was not fun. Okay, Evangeline Perry, here we go. Are there any other pieces of mythology you would like to write about one day? And if so, what are they?
I love Egyptian mythology. I have so many stories that go through my head all the time with Egyptian mythology. That would be the next place I would go.
Interesting. Love that. Okay, whoa, chat got away from us. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Look at that. Richard. It's too early for that, my friend. Too early. You did give a long answer, but you hit the word I was looking for that I got from a specific Irish book that I pulled these out of was a mischievous male fairy of Irish folklore. So you literally used the word mischievous and you were first. So many Irish people dislike leprechauns because they have come to represent a number of negative stereotypes about Irish people. The more you know.
And they
$5
didn't
gift
wear
card.
green, they wore red.
Yes. And Natalie Locke, that gift card's on to you. You don't need to email me. I know your email. So you won that one. We will get to the next one in just a little bit. And it is a $10 gift card. We're raising the stakes. Look out. Don't spend it all in one place. So Shanon, let's talk Soul of a Rose. So I'm going to read the blurb first, and then we're going to chat about the book. Okay?
Okay.
When Rose last attempted to help someone, she was cursed, kidnapped, and nearly killed. In the safety of their home at last, Rose and Lily attempt to recover from their grief when Quintus arrives asking for their help. Against her judgment, Rose agrees to aid Lily's love to search for a way to turn Quintus's brother into a man. Only moments pass before the goddess Artemis appears, demanding Agathon so she may avenge the cuckold Zeus. The skirmish results in a devastating loss for Rose. Only a higher power stops her from making a grievous mistake. At the bidding of the Morrigan, Rose journeys to Tech Duin, the otherworld realm, to beg a favor from Dawn, the god of the dead. The way to Dawn's fortress is rife with unimaginable dangers. One wrong move, and Rose will lose her soul forever. An intriguing blend of adventure, romance, and myth, Soul of a Rose will alight primal magic with heart readers. With the heart readers. Embark on a journey through imaginations know no bounds. Delve into the worlds of gods, goddesses, and more. The second book of the Clash of the Goddesses series will leave you breathlessly awaiting the next book. Shanon killed it with the blurb once again. Before we get into the questions about the book, so last time you talked to us about going through a service to get your blurb done. Did you do the same thing, and did you use the same service? I already know the answer, but I'm asking you.
Yes, I went back through Fiverr again, and I really, really wanted to get the same woman who did the first one because I thought it was great, and I didn't really have to do much with it. And I also want to keep the tone the same between the two. So I hired two people. I sent them the original blurb and asked to try and keep the tone consistent, and sent them a pitch and a small summary of the book. And yeah, so one of them was really terrible. The blurb was terrible. And then the other one was what you see basically there. I only tweaked it a little bit. I wanted to tweak it more, but I just simply was running out of time.
Well, listen, it's a great blurb, and I'm sorry I blubbed it. I was not scrolling fast enough. Good evening, Martin. Good to see you. Let me get back to my questions. Apologies. Can't do two things at once. So talk to me a little bit about when we first talked about doing this together, the first thing you said to me was, why don't you ask me about writing a sequel? And I love that you kind of threw that out there because it made me think, ooh, that must be hard. So tell us all about writing a sequel.
So when I first outlined this series, I knew exactly what Lily's was going to be, her story, her book. I kind of had that exactly right. With Rose, I was like, okay, this is where I know I want to go to get to the conclusion. The third book and the last book, I'm not sure I'll get to it when I get there. So when I got to doing Roses, I started writing what I had, and the story was happening to Rose. Rose was reacting to everything that was happening to her, and she was making no choices, which is okay for like maybe the first third of the book, but not for the entire book. And that's what it was coming out to be. I ended up throwing out like 70,000 words altogether because I tried again and that didn't work. And it was hard trying to think, okay, I know where I want Rose to be as a character. I know where I want her to end up. What can happen that also continues the overall plot for the entire series? And there was something I really wanted to do. And I ended up just saying, you know what, I have to let that idea go because it doesn't help to get to the end of the series and help Rose grow as a reader or as a character. So yeah, it was a bit hard.
Well, listen, I'm curious. So as far as for book 3, which are you working on already or done?
Yes. No, it's that one I've had issues with it too, but I am working on it now and it's almost done. So
Rachel, trilogies seem hard to write for me for some reason. So yeah, I get, because it really can't be, I guess part of me thinks, oh, well, you just do kind of an act 1 and an act 2 and an act 3 kind of an idea, except for you really can't do that in individual books or else you'd have a lot of like boring parts. So yeah, it would be difficult.
I think it might work better if you have just one viewpoint character. So,
Yeah.
but I knew that I was going to do 3 books in 3 different viewpoints. I mean, the other people from the first book are the sisters. They're brought through. You know, it's just Lily and Lou in the first one. Lily's brought through to the second. She's brought through to the third. Rose is brought through to the third book as well.
Yes. Okay. So we talked a little bit about the sequel. Tell us what is going to surprise readers of Blood of the Lily in Soul of a Rose.
What's going to surprise them?
Yep. For someone that read this, what are they going to pick up the next book and go, oh, didn't see that come in?
Well, the antagonist, not the antagonist is behind the scenes in the first book. She has a big viewpoint in the second book, and my beta readers all said, wow, like I want to hate her, and I can understand the choices she's making, but I get the sense that she's making all the wrong choices.
Gotcha. Martin says, with my series, I made a point to build a world before starting the series with the aim of building somewhere to go. That's very interesting.
I had the world and I knew where I was going. I just trying to get the characters to fit in there.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Mama Maggie, welcome Maggie, by the way, who's dealing with shingles, poor thing. So sending you love because that's awful. Question, when the plot and the idea go off track, what non-writing creative support do you do to get yourself into the replotting, rewriting mood?
I try to immerse myself in other stories, and you know, it's easier sometimes to consume an hour and a half movie versus you know, a 3 or 4 hour book. So sometimes I'll choose movies that are in my genre and watch them and just kind of break it down like, okay, this is what they did at this point, and you know, and I also like to watch a lot of nonfiction on nonfiction channels on YouTube. So I like watching about mythologies. Anybody in any channel that talks about mythologies, I'll watch them, and I always get more ideas.
I am a big fan of the same thing. I get inspiration from all kinds, and not even necessarily movies and shows sometimes, but all kinds of places. I mean, sometimes just watching people interact somewhere, I can be like, ooh, that's a fun idea for a story. So I agree with that. I wanted to read this idea from Chris Kinney, or this thought. Chris Kinney says, funnily enough, I found it quite easy to map out my trilogy. Each book had a natural ending, but followed up to the next easily, if that makes sense. Star Wars, as always, was my blueprint. So a sci-fi story. So yeah, I can kind of see that. If you're kind of like using Star Wars and the way they laid out those stories, then yeah, you'd have kind of a rubric for what you're supposed to follow. And that's...
I always know my beginning and ending scenes of all my stories. It's the rest of it that I have to
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fun and games.
Yeah.
You're getting some great questions, so I'm just going to throw them up as we go if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Lauren asks, have you found other books similar to Blood of the Lily? What would your comparables be?
So currently, I mean, it's YA fantasy, almost anything that's fae. That's what I compare it to. There's nothing really like my book. And that's the hard part. So I have to break down. I remember I've had long conversations with my girlfriend who publishes it. She's got nearly 20 books out now. And, she writes YA fantasy, and she writes in the fae world. And I ask her, how do you find books that are comparable when I'm so far away from what most YA fantasy in the fae, what they're about? And she said, well, you just have to think about it. And I said this in one of my videos that just came out recently. You have to think about, if someone read this book, would they also enjoy the topic of your book? And that's the best way to approach it. So even, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but would they enjoy the similar topic?
Yeah, I love that. Colin says the internet crashed. No worries, no worries. I have 2 more great questions for you. Are you ready for the next? Sorry, just one, because I forgot to unstar one. From the novel Nana, will there be some merch for this book? Example, character pics, bookmarks, book plates, or anything else?
One thing I know that, like, I love notebooks. That's why I make like little notebooks. So I want to make a notebook, a hardcover with both of my covers for my books on there. So, or in all 3 eventually. And as far as like other things, book plates, I think it's probably getting to that point where I probably need some book plates. But I considered bookmarks and stuff like that at the very beginning before Blood of the Lily even came out. And, you know, a lot of those things you have to pay for ahead of time. And it was a cost I decided to forego because I wasn't really, I'm not well known. And so I didn't think I was going to have, I'd pay out this money for it and probably have it sitting around for a while. That's what I thought of.
Well, oh, hang on. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to star the questions and you guys are going so fast that it keeps. Yeah, I mean, I love to see y'all talking, but you're getting ahead of me. I think Sarah also offers a service on finding comp books too. Oh, I forgot about that. She could do that for you. So that might be a thing. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's expensive either. I feel like it was one of her cheaper commissions. So we'll have to point you that way. Yes, the book plate. Richard, are you asking us what it is, or are you like explain what you're confused about? Because you should do them as well. They're a great way to do signatures without being there. Okay, I'm going to get back to my questions before we come back to theirs. So what would you say is your goal for Soul of the Rose, and have you already kind of blown past it?
Oh yeah. Well, I was hoping for these first 5 days where, Blood of the Lily is free, Soul of Rose is 99 cents. So I was hoping to, I was hoping Blood of the Lily I'd have a couple hundred downloads. Of course, it's all free, so I'm not making any money off of it. But of course, anyone who downloads it, there might be a small percentage who in the future go and buy Soul of Rose. And Soul of Rose, I was hoping I'd get, 20 downloads or so, or sales. So yeah, I've blown past both of those.
I would love you to. Yes, I was sorry. I'm behind the screen as I'm moving my hot pad around to like keep my tummy from exploding. But so yes, tell them all the things about, because I'm impressed by these numbers. Our friend has been #1 in her category for 3 days since she dropped. So we are here to celebrate all of that energy.
Okay, so I have sold, I'm looking at the updated numbers now and adding it to what I had already. 2,000, or this is downloads for Blood of the Lily. 2,778 is what it looks like downloads. And then of Soul of a Rose, I have now 38 sales of Soul of a Rose.
I am so happy for you. That's amazing. So talk to me a little bit about, again, you kind of said you blew past your expectations. So what was your expectation? Like when you went in, what were you saying? Like, okay, I want to see this number. And then when did you blow past it? Like, when was your moment where you opened your phone and went, holy crow, I did the thing?
Yeah, no, the first day. So, like I said, I thought I would get a couple hundred downloads of Blood of the Lily all together. And that's my main focus, right? You do all of your promos and everything on your first book, because then you want to try and get them to carry through the rest of the series. So I thought I would have a couple hundred through the 5 days. And on the first day, I think I hit like 200 by 7 a.m. And by the end of the day, I hit 864.
You're killing it. I mean, I'm loving all this good vibes for you. Hey, Kelly, good to see you. Love you. I'm loving all the good energy you're getting from the crowd. Look at here, Richard, I love 2778. Wowzers, that's fan dabby doozy. I always wondered how you spelled that, Richard. Now I know. So that helps. That's amazing. You're getting all the love, just lots of congratulations. So tell me what you said. You had a couple of promotions happening today, right? Or tomorrow?
Yes. No. So my first tactic when I did Blood of the Lily, when it first came out, and it was 99 cents. I didn't do it free at the beginning, right? Because I don't think you can when you first put a book on Amazon if you're in KU. And so I did 99 cents, and I did one promotion basically every day. I think there was a couple days where promotions overlapped, and I was trying to just do one at a time to kind of get an idea. But when I had research marketing, other people who did book promotions, they talked about promo stacking. That's doing several promotions per day. And so I thought, you know what, this time I'm going to promo stack. I have 2 books, so this is better. And then when I do the 3rd book, I'm going to do even more promo stacking. So I wrote everything down. So like today I had three promotions. 1 was free. Nope, 2 were free. Only 1 I paid for. So yeah. And yesterday I had 2 promotions. Both of those I paid for. So anyways, I got promotions lined up for the whole week, and then a bunch of free ones all throughout the week. So
yes, I love that. Author JL Slipak says, you must be very excited. You are, I hope, right? Yeah. I mean, this is huge.
Yes. Well, you know what? It's so funny because I don't really show a lot of emotion. I think I've talked about that sometimes in some of my videos. I have to think, smile. You're on camera. But my gym trainer, he's like, whew, he's boisterous. He has lots of energy. And so, nonchalantly, he was telling me this morning how he got a couple of his clients to download my first book and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, cool. I was like, yeah, do you want to know my number? And I told him, and he just like went ecstatic through the roof, and it started getting me excited.
Yep. That's what I love. That's what I love. That's what I'm here for. Yes, JC Carpenter, and we are going to talk about those in just a bit in the C block. So we're coming to it. So in about 4 minutes and 55 seconds, we are dropping the second giveaway for the $10 Amazon gift card for the second Celtic question. So, oh, I love trivia. So to pass that time, instead of boring you with my questions, you have some amazing ones from your adoring fans. Let's start with those. Mama Maggie Ward says, would you consider your book to be AU mythology or a retelling adjacent?
What? I don't know what AU mythology means.
Not either. So Mama Maggie will have to give us more information in the chat. Let's see. So let us know, Maggie, and I'll pull it back up and we'll come back to it. Lauren Adele says, will you offer your marketing knowledge as a service or maybe a course?
No, it's free. I'm giving my information for free on my channel. As everything I'm learning, I'm putting up there.
Perfect.
If you want to have a chat, I don't mind chatting. I've already done that with one person.
Yeah. CB394 says, question, what is your favorite Celtic mythology story? Great question, CB. Thank you.
I can't, you guys, I'm a bit tone deaf and and Irish language is not easy to say. So it's the, I don't know how you say the Irish name, and I'm trying to remember what the translation was, but it's the biggest raid, the cattle raid in the Irish mythology. I can see the Irish in my head, but I don't know how to say it. But it's one where I talk about Lou's son, Cuchulainn, in the second book. And he's in the first book. Well, his name is in the first book, and he talked about him a little bit more, but he's the main figure in that story. And I actually want to write that one. Like the stories that I write, I'm working off of mythologies. I'm not following any mythology though. I'm not like taking any of the Irish mythologies and just redoing the Irish mythology itself. I'm just including aspects and things like that. But I actually want to redo that particular story because the Morrigan and Cuchulainn, they have a lot of interaction and there's a lot of antagonistic thoughts, like words back and forth, yet they kept coming across each other's path. And to me, I'm like, they were in love. That's what I think. So, but that's not said in the story. And I'm like, I want to write that story as a love story, but it's about, it doesn't end well, but it's a sad story. But
well, hey, that's okay. I mean, no one's against, okay, Richard. So, of course, Richard
yeah,
Holiday. Is it pronounced Celtic or Celtic?
So, which one's the Boston one? Is it Celtic
Celtic.
Boston? Yeah,
Celtic.
it's the Celtic. It's the Celtic. It starts with the K sound. Celtic.
I thought so.
We say Celtic Bostons in the U.S., but it's Celtic for over there.
Thank you, Mama Maggie. Alternate universe. So let me re-ask the question. Would you consider your book to be alternate universe mythology or retelling adjacent?
So not. I don't know if it's alternate mythology.
Like, so many of them answered this for us. Thank you, friends.
Yeah, I would say it's probably just it's a retelling, but then it's a slippery slope to say retelling because I said my first book is a fairy tale retelling, and many people are like, "This is not the fairy tale retelling." And I'm like, I don't know what you consider a fairy tale retelling. What do you consider a retelling? Because it meets. I even watched a video from someone who said, "Here's what a retelling is. Here's what adaptation." I'm like, in the retelling, well, that my stuff falls right into retelling, but whatever. So I'm not even saying because the second book is actually based on a mythology story in the Greek mythology. But I'm not saying it because I don't want someone to come back like, this is not the story. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's just inspired.
Well, okay. So let me switch back to my questions. So for viewers of your channel that know that you're sharing your marketing journey all the way through, is there a number that you set aside that you said, I'm going to spend on marketing for Soul of a Rose? And if so, what was it?
I didn't set a specific number. I spent $308 on my marketing, roughly around there, for Blood of the Lily. And so I thought I want to spend just a little more, but because the series is not done, I don't want to spend a whole lot more. And I think I stopped at $327 for Soul of a Rose, but then I added on one more thing that I found a promotion that came through my email, and it was $12.55. So I ended up adding that on there.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, that doesn't seem overwhelming, or I've watched it. You've talked to. I think you're the one who talked to me about them, and I started watching the 6-figure Authors, are you the one who
Yes.
watches them? Okay,
Yes,
so you're the one who.
I do.
Yeah, that was you for sure. Somebody was telling me about them, so I started watching, and some of their things I watch, I'm like, holy crow, who is spending that kind of money? But you know, again, I guess they are. Thanks for popping in, Kelly. Good to see you. Appreciate you popping in. Go be an amazing domestic goddess. So tell folks where they can find Soul of a Rose, how long your promotion's going for. Let's just one more time make sure we drive it home before we do this next giveaway.
All right. So Soul of a Rose is available on Amazon as an ebook and in print, a paperback. And it is on sale right now for 99 cents through the end of Friday, the 7th. Right?
Yep. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
It is.
All right. Then how about we put up our second giveaway question? Are you ready? This is a $10 Amazon gift card. Anybody in the United States but Natalie Locke. Natalie Locke, feel free to answer if you want, though. The question is, what is Ogham? Ogham?
Ogham.
Ogham. What is Ogham? Go forth. Answer. Impress me.
Oh, I remember the name of that mythology, the Battle Raid of Cooley. The Battle Raid of Cooley. Yeah. So basically a cow was stolen that was supposed to have magical properties, and they went back and forth between two different provinces in Ireland, and Ulster was one of them, but Ulster had been cursed centuries ago by Macha, one of the triple aspects of the Morrigan, because she was reincarnated in a lifetime. She was pregnant, and her husband boasted how fast she was, and the king made her run while she was pregnant, and she beat his horses, and she gave birth at the finish line and then died. But she cursed all the Ulstermen that anytime they went to war for nine centuries, basically, that they would have birthing pains, so they wouldn't be able to fight their enemies. And so that played into the Battle Raid of Cooley. And yeah,
that's wicked. Okay, so Carol Brown wins this one. She was first with divination. It's a runic alphabet, so it's a rune situation. So the divination item using wooden carvings, that was the first. So Carol wins it. If you want Carol, send me your email and I will shoot you an Amazon gift card, 10 bones. Go buy some great books with it. Alrighty, let's see. Lots of guesses. This was very close, but not quite.
I would say Ogham is not always on wooden carvings. They're also on stones and stuff like that.
Yeah, the definition they gave me was runic alphabet. While most of the Druid traditions was oral, the Ogham alphabet was especially used for gravestones, wooden stakes, and specific rituals. So that was why I went, okay, the wooden, you got it. So yeah, learning all the giveaways. Love a giveaway. It's like a game show, which I love. Who knew? Okay, so last question about Soul of a Rose. So we were talking a wee bit about reviews backstage, and since we keep it 100 here, why don't you go ahead and make your pitch go ahead and make those reviews, people, and why?
Oh, for Blood of the Lily, right?
Be blunt, yes. Ask it, get it. Ask, believe, receive.
And you know, and some I have a reader, I think, here in the chat, but I'm trying to get 2 more verified purchases on reviews on my Amazon page, because there's one promotion I really want to do when my 3rd book comes out, but I have to have 3 verified purchases and I only have 1. I asked my reviewers if they could go on and get Blood of the Lily while it's free, since they left a review, but for some reason it's not updating. So if any of you have bought Blood of the Lily for free or whenever, and haven't left a review, I would sincerely appreciate it. Sometime I have to probably book it in March. Toward the end of March, I'll need to book the promotion.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Thank
Welcome, you. Cecilia. You're never late. Good to see you. Quick question, Shannon. Did you want to read any from the book? You did a video recently reading chapter 1, but did you want to just read a page or 2 and just give folks a taste? Are you interested? If so, I'll give you a full screen. Go for it.
No, I'm because I'm a bit tone deaf, it makes it hard for me to read. When I do my reading on YouTube, do you know I sit there and I read it and I read it and I read it before I audio tape myself?
Yeah, we'll just point to the video. So I will have somebody, maybe I'll have somebody in chat, see if they can run that down for us and drop the link in the chat so people can watch it. But you did an entire video. I think it was your last video or one before that.
It was the release day video. I did chapter 1 at this
Monday. So yeah, Monday.
On Monday.
So go listen to chapter 1 there. It's absolutely wonderful. With that, we're going to switch over to talking a little bit about Blood of the Lily. So we talked about the sales bump. We talked about the differences in the marketing between the two. You've talked about how you're going to do some stack promotions in the future. Once you get to the third book, what will be the difference in your marketing strategy from the get-go? What are you going to handle differently?
I am bumping my number up to $500 is what I'm going to give myself to spend on, because now the whole series will be complete. And there's some people in my personal life, they're like, I want to buy it, but I'm going to wait until it's done and then I'm going to buy it. So I can only imagine people I don't know that probably feel the same way. So I'm going to bump it. And I'll do a similar strategy where Blood of the Lily will be free, and it'll be the same 5-day promotion. So Blood of the Lily would be free. Solar Rose will be 99 cents. And I will release Tears of the Marigold at $1.99. So
that's awesome. So speaking of the third book, you said it's given you a little hard time. Have you set any deadlines for yourself, or is it fluid?
No, yeah, it was giving me a hard time. I'm good now. I'm golden. I sat down. I was stressing out because I had set up with my editor to give her the book on February 20th. And I promised my critique partners, if Morgan's still in the chat, I had promised them the book between 15 December and 1 January. Well, it just was not coming together. It was just a mess. It was a mess. And I knew I need to go back to the drawing board with my outline and figure it out. And, but because of all the impending deadlines I gave to my critique partner and my editor, I think it was weighing me down too much. I couldn't think clearly. And so I reached out to my editor. I was like, hey, can we push this back any? So it's due to my editor now 1 May. And to my critique partners, it's going to go out at the end of January. So I do have deadlines.
Yes. Well, I appreciate that. To Richard, you win my eternal love. That's what you win. You already had it, but now you get an extra dose. So thank you. No, I'm kidding. Whatever you need, check is in the mail, my friend.
But what to say is, when I moved those deadlines back, my creativity just poured out. In 2 days' time, I finished the entire outline, chapter by chapter, like what I wanted to do. Yeah.
So it really is a sort of getting out of your own way kind of thing for you. Okay. Interesting. Because for some people, they say I have to have those deadlines or I can't get any of it done. So while we're kind of talking about your amazing CP, Morgan, this is a great time to talk about one of the collaborations that sprung up out of this little community here. So tell us all about your amazing co-hosts and the project you all are working on together now.
Are you talking about the self-publishing tips and tricks?
Yes. Try to say it 3 times fast.
Let me get a drink. That'll be real fun then. But yes, so self-publishing tips and tricks evolved from a very selfish position, because I want to know what other successful things can be done to be a self-published author and to market your own book. And so I was like, I really want to know what other people are doing. What can I learn from them? Because there's only so much information out there that you can watch, especially current information, because market changes so fast. And so, I got with Morgan and Ben. I asked, so I was like, hey, they were the first 2 people I thought of, and I started writing a list of people that I wanted to ask. And I thought, well, I'm going to reach out to them first. And I wanted 2 people because I liked Six Figure Authors podcast is 3 people. And I love that dynamic of 3 people. Yep. So I was like, hey, would you be interested? And both said yes right away. So I was like so ecstatic for it. And it's been fun. We've had a lot of fun with it. So.
It's really good. I got the chance to, was it this last weekend that you all premiered your first? So I got to enjoy the premiere with you guys on, was it Saturday?
Saturday.
Nothing to me anymore. I think it was Saturday. Okay. Loved it. It was so much fun, and it's them interviewing one another. So it's kind of them getting to know one another, which is kind of a lot of fun to see, folks from the writing community kind of talk about themselves and sort of get to know each other and interview one another. It gives you an idea of their style. And then you have filmed quite a few of these or recorded them. I know that because I have several friends you've recorded with who have told me like, hey, I've got to go interview with Shanon. I can't talk. I'm like, oh, okay. But I'm excited because some great people, because again, I know, can you tell anybody? Can you tease out who your next interview is or what's coming?
Our next one's Margaret Pignard. She's coming out on the 15th of January. Yes. We've already done our interview with Richard Holiday. He's going to be on the 1st. Yes. So I think we're interviewing someone this next week, Thursday, Katie Young. And then we also have Aphrodite Lee on the schedule. And My girlfriend that I've talked about a few times in my videos, and just if you can talk about her tonight, she's got quite a few books published, bringing her on.
Good.
So she uses social media to publish her book, like to get her books out there. And she just has so many tips and tricks. I mean, she's been telling me over the years, this is what you need to do. And I'm like, I'm just not a social media person. She's like, you do this, you'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, she's coming on, and we're trying to get a bunch of people done now because as I put in my goals video, my dad's having complications from cancer, and he's having surgery, on Monday, the 31st of January. And I'm taking over his position. Him and my mom own a liquor store, and he works Monday through Wednesday. So I'm doing his Monday through Wednesday shift, and that's going to be happening for 6 to 8 weeks. So I'm actually going to have a lot of limited time of what I can do.
How do I get on your show? Sako Toomey, a self-published author who I just had on, asks.
Yay, yes.
Do you have a
just
form?
reach out to me. I do have a form. Nobody's used it. They just reach out to me personally.
Oh, okay. Well, we will. I have Sako's info, so if you want, I can connect you through email. Sako, just thumbs up if that's okay, and if so, I will connect you two through email if you're okay with me doing that. And Cecilia asks, how do I have to be published to be on?
So we are looking for self-published authors who have some experience in the self-publishing world, and those who also know a little bit about marketing, because we ask both self-publishing and marketing questions. So we are looking for that experience. Our promise in our show is if you come and watch, you're going to learn something new about self-publishing and marketing. And so the guests that we're looking for are those who would, fulfill that promise.
Yes. So sorry. Hope everything goes well with your dad. Yeah. You're getting lots of good vibes about that. Yes. Chris Kinney should apply. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Good deal.
I was going to reach out to Chris Kinney next.
Yeah. Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yes. So, yes, lots of good wishes for your dad, for sure. Yes. Sako's the one for marketing. Agreed. She has a whole playlist, that's specific to marketing.
Yeah, and I want to watch it. I haven't been able to watch it yet.
Deep dive. So yeah. Good one to ask. Let's see. I thought I filled out the form. I'll message you. Okay. Yes. Cecilia says, nice. We'll reach out when I do publish, hopefully this year. Wonderful, Cecilia. All righty. I am going to flip over and get back to my questions. So we kind of asked about where can folks find you if they want to keep up with future books? Do you have a newsletter?
I do have a newsletter. Did you put that? I think you put that in the link below.
You did.
Yeah, you put that in the description box below. I have a newsletter. So yeah, my newsletter is basically, I always start with, hey, this is where I'm at my writing process with whatever book I'm on, which right now is the book 3. And then I do feature a lot of books because I'm on Story Origin. So
What's Story Origin?
Story Origin is very similar to Book Funnel.
Okay,
it's a little bit newer. It just went to a paid version this year, right before I learned about it. Otherwise, I could have been in there for free. But yeah, it does have a paid, one of its selections is paid, but you don't get the cross promotions. And that's where I found like a lot of my newsletters, subscribers, and I get, give out review copies and, things like that. So because I'm doing that, though, part of the promise is that they will, whatever promotions I'm in, they will promote my book. Well, I've got to promote that promotion. So I put those promotions into my newsletter, which is awesome in a lot of ways. Because, like you find out all these books that are in KU if you're part of the KU program, or here's all these books that are on sale right now. Yeah. So.
Yeah, totally. Let's see. I love Story Origin. I have my first manuscript up there. Love it. Love it. All right. And I saw someone else I wanted to. Oh, Anita. This was the other. I believe Anita could be someone you could connect with. But while we're talking about marketing, while Sako's here, one of the things I wanted to visit with you about over on your channel is the shift you've taken in the series that you're doing on the kind of behind the scenes of all the marketing of your books. So would you take a second to just kind of talk to everyone about that? The channel is linked in the description box below, folks, so be sure and check that out. But Shanon has some amazing videos about marketing and how you've done with your books. Visit with folks a little bit about that. I'm going to give you full screen. Take it away.
Okay, so you said something about this shift. So I'm assuming you mean like I had a focus in the beginning of my channel, like it was more writing and craft related to shifting to marketing?
Yeah. Well, and I think just since your book, I think you had a series that started since your first book that was like, hey, this is a series about my experience in publishing. So like, yeah, more or less that since you started. Yeah.
So to be honest, my YouTube channel kind of follows what's going on? What am I doing right now? Because in the beginning, it was more craft related questions, but everything I related back to like, oh, this is how I wrote Blood of the Lily. This is what I did with this. And then so when I published it, I was like, ooh, okay, this is what happened in my first week. And here's what happened in my second week. So I look at, okay, this is how much money I paid out. One, I think I have a video that's just, you know, what does it take to just get started as an author, as an entrepreneur? And what do those costs look like? And then, you know, what is the cost to put together a book, or at least my book, and then to get it out and publish it, and the cost for marketing and everything. So I just cover all the behind the scenes, I guess. For me, it's a way to show, okay, this is how at least one person is approaching this path to self-publishing, because everybody's path is going to be different. But I had wished that there were videos like this. I would have gobbled up these videos before I self-published if they had existed. So some are not very clear. Like, for example, I just watched a video. I love the income reports, or like the shows where they say this is how much money I made, or this is how my book did. Am I making my money back? And there was one I watched like 2 weeks ago, and she said, did I make my money back on my 5 books? And she went through and said what she made and how much it costs to make the book, and how, you know, how much money she's making. So I wrote to her and I was like, well, hey, does this include your marketing? And she's like, oh no, I haven't included my marketing. And of course she's made her money back on all her books. And I'm thinking, well, I could probably make my money back on my books if I include my marketing. But
yeah, that isn't like in TradBub. That's not how it works. You have to like earn out the contract, which includes all of that cost. So yes, you should include, and just in business in general, you should include your cost of goods sold. Like your COGS should be a part of that process.
Yeah.
But yes, good. I love the series. I think it's amazing. I think folks should be watching it. You show the numbers. You actually talk about like, this is what I spent. This is what it, you know, what it netted me. And although you can't, because I've watched your thing, although you can't really figure out like where the sales are coming from specifically, I feel like you kind of do a pretty good job of being like, well, this promo happened here, and then a few days later this happened. You know, I mean, I feel like it's pretty good with the analytics of what you're looking at to kind of tie it to where it came from. And I think
the best that I can with it.
Yeah, 100 for sure. So I've got some great questions from the audience. We're going to give you those, and then we're going to start our game, which is the mystery ghostwriter. I have brought a secret friend of yours in to do our ghostwriter game that we do. I wrote the first act. I handed it to them to continue the story. We're going to pull you out of the stream for 10 minutes to read the story and write your finale, and then we'll bring you back on, read the story, and see if you can guess who they are. So let's do our questions first from the audience. You've got some great ones. Nicole the Blind Mage asks, question, favorite deity?
Well, I have to say, before I wrote her and as I'm writing her, the Morgan, I love the Morgan. She's just so morally gray.
I mean, what writer wouldn't love that? Like, there's just, where can you not go with that? The novel Nana, our own Bex, asks, what is a specific beloved trope we can expect with Soul of a Rose?
Do you know, I'm not really all up on the tropes, what they are. I kind of mentioned it's inspired by a Greek mythology. So if you've ever, I can't say the second name, but the first one's Orpheus, and you're DC. It's a husband wife. Orpheus was the son of a muse. He could play the lyre really, really well. He enchanted everybody. One day his wife got bitten by a snake and she died. So he went down to Hades to ask for her soul back. And he played the lyre and enchanted everybody. And Hades, the god Hades, said, you can have her back as long as you don't look at her before you leave the underworld. And he one step out of the underworld, but one step still in. He turns back to look to see if his wife is there, and she's taken back to the dead. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got something fun to look for there, Bex, I think. Mama Maggie asks, question, would you put your covers or story art on Redbubble so they could be made into pretty coffee mugs?
Oh, yeah. I would love to do that.
Author Lauren Adele asks, question, do you wait for a series to be finished before reading it?
Right now in my stage of life, I don't, because I'm trying to just read books in my genre to learn those tropes.
It helps. Just Eva asks, question, are you going to put them into one giant book or in a box set once they are complete?
I'm going to do both. So the box set I'm going to do at the 1 year mark. And so that's 1 November of this year. So I'll have a box set of them. And then I think it's an omnibus when you put them in one book. And I want to do that, but I think I'm going to hold off to see if I'm going to change my covers, because I haven't decided. I've had so much feedback. I mean, even when I the blog tour I did with Blood of the Lily. Yeah, I did blog tour with that. So it went out to 64 different bloggers, and then people responded on their blogs, and everybody's like, such a beautiful cover. I love the cover. How did you get the cover done? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, everybody loves the cover, but it doesn't match my genre. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, but I don't, we talked about this before because I read a lot of YA. I don't know that it doesn't, your genre is so like niche within YA as far as like being in the mythology kind of realm that they're kind of all over the place. Like when you go and look at Amazon, there's lots to, there's
if you just look at YA fantasy though, most of them have a female figure on the front.
Yes, a character cover for sure. Yes. So author JL Sliphack asks question, what made you decide to do a series? Was it the characters, the story, or the marketing potential? Great question.
So when I was first researching and trying to figure out what I was going to write, sorry, I have a piece of hair keeps hanging in my eyes. I don't know where it's at. When I came across the Morgan, right away she drew me. Well, the Morgan is a triple aspect goddess. And I love the idea of the triple aspect. And I was also learning about self-publishing from like Sarah Cannon, Heart Breathing's channel. And she talked about how writing in a series is what she did it. She didn't know that it would help her, but what's led her to, there you go. So it's what led her to writing a series is what led to her success. And so I was like, okay, so a series leads to success. So you have the marketing potential there, but I was already thinking, okay, you got the triple aspect goddess with the Morgan. And I love that. So, and then I came across, well, I've always loved the story of Snow White and Rose Red, which had two sisters in it. And I thought, well, we can have a third one. She's just dead. And, but we could still have a book on her because we're gonna have a book on her.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw this up real quick because our friend popped in, Heidi.
Oh, hi Heidi.
We both love you, but wanted to say hi.
Thank you.
Book. And so Richard said, cover is so important. We like to think, don't judge a book by its cover, but we do. Shanon smashed it with her artwork. And I kind of agree with Richard. I've admitted this on other streams. I don't want to be that person who doesn't judge a book by its cover, but I totally do. Like when I'm buying one, if I'm like, for instance, the book I bought last year, I didn't love the book so much, but the cover of Lore, the Alexandra Bracken YA mythology book that was 2021. This is why I bought the book. Like this.
Yeah.
It was okay. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but again, it was like the cover, right? And you don't want to be that person who's like, oh yeah, I totally spent $20 on a book just because of the cover. I do that though.
It's still my favorite.
I love.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
So do you already have the third?
No,
done?
I haven't started it.
Okay. The cover, you mean? Okay.
I have not started the cover.
But when you get them done, they'll kind of all sort of look like they go together, right? Like
yes.
Sort of want them
so if you pay attention, so Marigold's book is going to have more yellow. So I have the white. That's the Carrie Lily right there is down on the bottom. Carrie Lily. So this hand. Yeah.
I know it's hard to like this one.
Yeah. So that's a Kerry lily. It's a very rare lily only found in Kerry, Ireland, which is where the story takes place, is in Kerry, the province of Kerry. So it's white and you have red in there, which I was trying to tie in rose. And I was trying, and it's got yellow, which is I wanted to try and tie in marigold. And so I kind of did the same. I have the red, a little bit of white, a little bit of yellow. And then marigolds is going to be yellow with a little bit of red and a little bit of red.
Love it. I love that. It's not in your face. It's a little bit, so I think
all the greenery is all from Ireland. So
okay.
Yeah.
So are you ready for our paperback book giveaway? We have a few more questions from the audience, but I'm going to do the paperback book giveaway now. So our last giveaway, so Natalie won our first, Carol Brown won our second. Our third is I am sending you a paperback copy of Soul of a Rose. All you'll have to do is email me your address and I will ship it to you as long as you're in the residential United States. Here we go. Question number 3 is this. In Irish legend, which two early peoples fought for Ireland? I cannot pronounce any of these. However, your options are separated by the little lines. There are 4 options there. One of them is correct. The first to answer which correctly will win the paperback. Just email it to me and I shall send it to you. So the first person that does it, it's all yours. So for people Googling now, hurry scurry. Okay, author J.M. Seeley asks a great question. I'm going to pop it up real quick. Have you ever read any of the Iron Druid, Lots of Celtic Goodness and Lots of Morrigan?
I think my video is messing up. Can you hear me still though?
I can hear you. We can hear you. No problem.
Okay, I'm trying to refix the camera here.
No worries. You got. We can. Yeah.
I have read part of the first book. And yeah, the Morgan's totally, she's very sexualized.
Oh,
Which, I mean, she is in the mythologies too. And I do somewhat sexualized, but she's very sexualized in those books. So I have not got through the first book though. It's in modern contemporary setting. So then it's not really me. So yeah.
author J.M. Seeley asked you the question and won that
And
round.
the answer.
Way to go, J.M.
He
Seeley.
gave
You
you
already
the
have
full
my
name, the Tuatha De Danann. He gave you the full thing.
I know. He went for it. So okay, you won it, killed it. Way to go. I already have your email address because we've been talking. So I will shoot you an email just to grab your home address, and I will get that sent to you first thing tonight.
You would love that too.
Look at that. Like, yay. I'm telling you, there's something about the game show thing that I kind of love. I don't know. Watch out, Drew Carey. Is he still doing Price is Right? I don't even know. Don't watch TV. Time to feed my peeps. Thanks for popping in, author JL Slipak. We're almost doing our game, so we're to the end anyway. No worries. Thanks for popping in. Yes, some people got it after he did. Michael and the Riddles. Ah, yes. Let's see. Okay, Jennifer says, oh, okay, you were just a little late, guys. Sorry. Yes, it's all you, J.M. Seeley. You did it. And then here we go. Darn, I thought it was the Red Sox and the Yankees. I know. I'm sorry. It can't all be that easy, Michael C.V. Chen. So here we go. It is time for the mystery writer game. Are you ready, Shanon?
Sure.
Okie doke. Before I take you off screen, would you check your email and make sure that you received our... Okay, so you know the deal. You are going to mute us and turn off your screen, or, don't look at us, open your document, whatever. And you'll have 10 minutes, and we're going to pull you back in 10 minutes. And then we will read the end of your story and see if you can guess who your mystery ghostwriter was.
Okay. I'm going to set timer for 10 minutes.
Here we go. 1, 2, go. See you in a second. All right, mystery ghostwriter. You can unmute yourself, but not show yourself. Or I guess, oh, there you go. How are you doing, Mr. Holiday?
I'm very good. How are we all?
I'm good. So here's the thing. We had a lot
She has muted the stream, hasn't she?
She muted us, so she can't hear us. So here's the thing. Before we get into the talking about the story, because I wrote the first bit, you wrote the second bit, we're going to kind of tell people what's coming. Let me ask you, Richard Holiday, give your intro, tell everybody about yourself and where they can find your newsletter.
Hi, I'm Richard Holiday. I'm not this guy with a question mark on his head.
You can uncamera yourself now because she's not looking.
Here we go.
There you go. Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Richard Holiday. I'm the mystery ghostwriter. Apparently, yeah. Sorry, Barrett couldn't get anyone good on, so we had to make do with me.
No, I made you smaller so you're not SD Huston.
Okay.
Because right. So
I'm question mark.
Yeah. Okay, so should we tell people about our story?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to let you all hear it when we read it, but I spent 8 minutes on Lisa Daly's stream this morning, which was great. If you all missed it, go check it out and do some productivity to the sprints on the replay. But while doing the sprints with them today, I spent 8 minutes writing the beginning of the story, which in my head, I don't know why it popped in my head, but I had this like woman running from her husband thing in my head, and she's trying to escape the house, and there's like tension. And then I basically dropped it with like, he's running towards her as she's in the car trying to get away. Then I give it to Richard and say, go, right. So where did you take it?
Well, Barrett, you do seem to have this effect on women, don't you?
I do.
You have them running for the hills. So I got the prompt, had a little read, a little sort of sit down, and I had an idea of where I wanted it to end. So I just kind of went for that. I did mine in about 9.5 minutes. And yeah, no, it was good fun. Went places I wasn't quite expecting it. But yeah, no, it was a good prompt. So yeah, well done.
I had to adjust a few things because, you guys spell a few things weird.
We don't spell things weird, we spell them correctly. Right.
This debate again. I'm pretty sure center is ER. Center. And I did have to change trousers to pants because I was afraid she would know. And I'm trying to think of the words I changed to be like, oh no, she will know right away.
Well, I was too busy worrying if it was a single quote or a double quote for dialogue.
I mean, so okay. Let's see what's going on over here in chat because we've lost the thread here and I don't know what's happening. So we'll just pop in. Oh, good night, Lauren. Good to see you. JC Carpenter, I love that little image. It's cute, Richard. Yeah, where did you find that? Just online?
That's Homer Simpson with a bag. I know a lot of weird Simpsons references, so believe me, I know exactly what Avatar is going for.
Perfect. Yes, Colin says you're the mystery guest. There we go, everyone. There, the surprise has been revealed.
You're the mystery to me too.
But will she be able to guess? And then I will make you go back to your question mark head in about 3 minutes in case she's done early. Because I know her, I feel like she will get done a little early and be ready. Yeah. So, okay, what are we missing in chat? Here we go. Guys, I just got StreamYard. Anyone interested in being my guinea pig for practice? Bex is looking for someone to sign up to go live with her in a pop-up stream. So, oh, there you go. Maggie signed up for you, Bex. You already got to take her. And let's see. Oh, yes, this was, let's see. Oh, here we go. I don't pronounce the U in color or favorite.
Let's just agree to disagree, but importantly agree that I'm right.
I mean, yes, depending on which side of the pond we're on, yes, you're probably right.
No, probably about it.
Yes. So what do you have coming up on your channel? When are we flash ahawing again?
You're supposed to buy me dinner first before we start doing that.
Oh, come on, Richard. You know I don't like foreplay.
So the next episode of Flash of Heart will be going out on the 28th of January. I think we are switching to Martin's channel because he got a little bit whingy about it. So I think we've agreed going forward we're going to be alternating the channels because I'm very considerate like that. But we're looking forward to going again. I think our first confirmed guest is Books by Adrian, which is going to be lots of fun. So I would suggest just keeping an eye out on, well, we don't have a page. We're not really doing the social media thing very well, but we will let people know in some form when it's ready to.
We can use the CGL Facebook group to, shout it out when it's time, like when you guys get a form. I was going to ask anybody in chat if any, are you guys open to people coming to you if they want to do Flash Aha? We can kind of explain.
I would say absolutely. If you want to just fill in the form, we will contact you at some point. We sort of just take it freestyle. We just sort of contact people as and when we work our way through the list in a methodical manner. But yeah, we would love anyone who fancies coming and writing for 20 minutes on a prompt with your genre picked by this big wheel thing, and just come and have some fun. It's good fun. We don't take it entirely seriously. We just try to keep it fun, light-hearted, and British. So yeah.
It's all of the things. All the things I love. Well, before I make you go back to dark mode until Shanon comes back, show us your newsletter thing one more time.
There it is.
Yes.
Now, if you subscribe to my newsletter, you get my book, Foundations, which is the prequel to Nightmare Tenant, for free. And we all love free things. So if you do want to consider supporting me through my newsletter, please do it on my website.
Boom. I love it. Love to see it. Let me ask you this, Richard. Do you mind dropping your links to those two things in chat? So if folks want to follow you, because I did not add it to the description box and that was a fail. So drop it in chat.
Well, it would have given away the surprise, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Maybe that's why I didn't put it in there. Thank you, my friend.
I will drop the links when I disappear into my cave of darkness very shortly.
Perfect. Well, disappear away and we will talk to you. You can stay on voice. No, actually, I'm going to pull you from voice. I'm going to make announcements. So you go ahead and go silent, go dark, and I will leave you up here until we get her pulled back up and read the story. So we'll see you in just a second. I'm going to take a few minutes to talk through a few little announcements with everybody here. One of the first ones that I want to talk about is there is a link in the description box below that is for Dolls to Steal Runo. Dear friend of mine, dear friend of the channel and everybody here, our friend Robert Jones, the story detective, is working on a computer to send to her with lots of great programs that she can use for writing, as well as some other just books and some stuff he's wanting to give her to kind of help her level up as a writer. So everybody here loves doll. If you've got a little extra change shaking around your pockets, then please check out the link in the description box below and give what you can to get that computer and that stuff sent over to Doll. I appreciate all of you who are able to give, and if you can't, I still appreciate you and love you. So I appreciate you if you can do that. Thank you. The other thing I was going to shout out really quickly, I have a super fun collaboration coming up on the 15th and 16th of January. My Crohn's and the stupid chemo stuff keeps me homebound, so I needed a writing retreat. So I created a virtual one and brought some great friends together, and we are going to do a virtual writers retreat the 15th and 16th of January. It is also Shanon Huston's birthday that weekend, and she will be on a stream celebrating her birthday with us, so that's very exciting. But there will be writing sprints mixed with wellness sprints. So there will be 2-hour writing sprints, a small half-hour break, and then a wellness sprint that will be someone's doing tarot, someone's doing, I think, a yoga sprint, I think someone's doing a dance section or a dance stream. So lots of fun kind of things that are sort of writerly, and then something different to kind of keep it fresh. So I'm looking forward to the writers retreat, the winter writers retreat. We might do it again in the summer, depending on how successful it is. So that is with myself, Morgan Lee, Margaret Pinard, Aphrodite Lee. Who am I forgetting, Morgan? Because I am forgetting someone. Of course I did. Oh, Kelly Wright, Zara Hoffman, Nia, the Vixen of Fiction, and Chandra Arthur are all leading the streams for that. And we can't wait to welcome all of you. And we will be playing this game, Friendly Ghostwriter, at the opening ceremony with our hosts. So we're going to play a version of this game live with all of you with our stories and pass them around and read it and get a good laugh out of what we create together. So we have about 22 seconds until Shanon is finished, and we will bring her back. So here we go. I'm going to bring her back to the screen. Welcome back.
Thank you.
How are you?
Good.
All right. So you have sent me our story?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I'm refreshing. Oops.
Yep.
There's our alarms. Sorry, I was early.
No, I finished. Stupid thing.
No, it's my Google's thinking, and there it is. All right, Shanon. First of all, before I read the story, can you guess who your mystery ghostwriter was? Do you have an idea based on their writing?
No, I would guess I haven't read this person's writing. That would be my guess.
Okay. All right. Well, there we go. I am going to, done. Okay, that was you telling me you were done. All right. So what I'm going to do is read the story now and tell everybody which section is which. And then we'll come back around and I'll give you a couple hints and you can decide if you can guess who the mystery writer is. So here we go, friends. This is our story. So it starts with: hurrying to the car, Catherine felt the urgency the situation required. She pressed the button to pop the trunk on her key fob and put her suitcase in before latching it closed as quietly as possible. She didn't move again before listening to see if he had heard her. After a pregnant pause, she proceeded to get in the driver's seat, lock the doors once she was safely inside. That was at least one level of protection should he catch her. Once again, she waited for a sign that he had been awakened by her hasty exit. Another prolonged pause, she put her key in the ignition. Before turning it, she took a deep breath and pressed the garage door opener. If anything was going to wake him, it would be the sound of the garage door. The light on the motor flipped on as the door chugged upwards, exposing her path to freedom. She turned the key and the ignition flipped over and sputtered to life. Not much longer now. The garage door stopped fully ajar, and Catherine slipped the car into reverse. Looking over her shoulder, she backed out of the garage, careful to keep her headlights off until she had pulled out of the driveway and onto the street. Didn't want to alert him over something silly like headlights. This wasn't the first time she had made a break for it. Before she had reached the halfway point of the driveway, the light in their bedroom turned on. As she was registering what was happening, lights began to illuminate what she once called home as her husband, her tormentor, her captor, now knew she was trying to run. Panicked, Catherine flipped on the headlights and hit the gas pedal hard, turning wide out onto the street. By the time she was fumbling with the transmission, shifting the gears to drive, he was running out the front door towards her. Catherine felt the gear shift into drive, and she floored the gas, leaving her pitiful excuse for a life behind. And our mystery ghostwriter added, Catherine cruised down the highway, her face flushed with relief. Winding down the window, the chilly night air whipped her auburn hair. She took a deep, soulful intake of the breath before exhaling hard to whistle through her teeth. She came to a stoplight. The car rumbled to an idle, nobody about. The junction was wide, desolate, and empty. Fumbling to the side pocket, she found the small rectangular box and flipped the lid. She pulled out one of the cigarettes and held it between her lips, then depressed the lighter in the center console of the car. Her foot shook just above the accelerator. The engine rumbled, burbling with each slight depression and thrust of the throttle. The lighter clicked. She pulled it out, pressing the glowing coil to the cigarette between her lips. It sizzled and she inhaled. He'd have hated that, but then she coughed. She'd only been a teenager when she last smoked. The lighter fell from her grasp and onto her lap. "Shit," Catherine yelped, swatting the device to the floorboard. The cigarette fell too. The sour scent of the tobacco now replaced the singed odor of the burn in her pants. Behind her, a horn hollered, "Move it, lady." Clicking the gear shift into drive, Catherine let the car slide forward. The Mack truck behind her buffeted the opposite way in the rearview mirror. Shaking her head, she glanced at the empty passenger seat. "Mom?" Rain scalded. "You shouldn't smoke. It's bad for you." "I know," Catherine replied. I'm sorry." "I know you are," her daughter said. Catherine turned her eyes from the road and away from the empty seat where her daughter used to sit before she died all those years ago. Eventually, the highway transmuted into local roads, the wide median becoming painted lines, the dusty cess becoming suburban sidewalks once more. She knew the way from here. She'd driven the way many times before. This time, it was for real. This time, it was forever. Turning into Maple Drive, Catherine slowed to a breezy stop outside the house. The lights were on. Good, she thought. She's awake. Parking, she let the car's engine idle. Outside, through the open window, the sound of the night filtered in, the buzz of critters, the hiss of distant tires on even more distant roads. She got out. Don't bother locking the car door. Went up the garden path and went to knock on the door. That's when she realized something was wrong. Very wrong. She pushed on the door. It was ajar. She glanced at the golden glow of the lights faded outside. The front step, the threshold, covered in vicious fluid. It was blood. Her face went white, and she turned, but was paralyzed. Footsteps came from inside Margaret's house. "Hello, Catherine," the voice said. "No," she said. "You. Did you think the two of you could have killed me so easily?" He held a bloody knife in one hand. Wide-eyed Catherine... Sorry, this is the last part that Shanon wrote. I'm getting better at this as we go. "No," she said. "You. Did you think the two of you could have killed me so easily?" He held a bloody knife in one hand. Wide-eyed, Catherine finally pulled her gaze away from Alfred. She searched along the carpeted floor. Was Margaret dead? She jerked back to look at Alfred, Margaret's abusive husband. How? He leaned a hip against the wall. "Y'all trusted your hardest to beat me to death. Y'all tried your hardest to beat me to death. Serves you right for what you did to Margaret all those years. Seems the Lord didn't think so." A gunshot broke through the dark, and Alfred looked down at his chest. A pool of blood seeped through his shirt. Then he crumpled to the floor. Catherine looked over her shoulder and out the front door. There, her husband strode toward her from his truck, rifle raised from another round. She leapt over Alfred's body and raced through the house, hoping she could find her way through the dark, hoping she didn't have to see her dead friend, hoping the back door wasn't locked. Boom. Wow, Shanon, way to go. I didn't expect it to go so dark. When I got the response from the person, I went, whoa, okay, they went somewhere with it. Here we go. So, okay, we will pop in and see what our chat thought of our story. So, Shanon, what ideas do you have? Do you have any idea of an AuthorTuber it could be? No guesses. No cold. Okay, let me give you one hint and see if it gives you a clue. This person has written about really bad rental situations, living situations.
Like, kind of had some in my head, but I think that would knock that person out.
Oh, okay.
It sounds familiar, but I don't recall who that was.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. All right, I'm going to give you another hint. Are you ready for hint number 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Of all the things that they are all about all the time, the one thing that they especially focus in on is newsletters.
Okay. Yeah, you know that would give it away.
Well, pineapple pizza was the third.
Well, yeah, that would definitely done it. So yeah, Richard Holiday, which I
Richard
haven't read his writing yet.
Hello.
Hi, I have his book, but I'm afraid to get into it.
Well, now you
Why
know
did
why.
you not
Not
think
as
that it
scary as
would go
that
dark?
story.
No, I
Oh,
thought it would go dark. I just, like I said, the deceased daughter, like there was a lot he threw in there that I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, where did that come from?
I really wanted to play with the daughter. It's so funny because before this, I thought, okay, what are ideas I can have? And I was like, ooh, an imaginary friend.
Yeah.
I actually got that from, I just read Evangeline Perry's draft of her first novel, and she has an imaginary friend in there. I thought, ooh, that's kind of cool.
Totally. I love that idea. I love what you guys did with that. And sorry if we spooked anybody in the chat. It definitely went dark. So I should have probably trigger warning first. Apologies. Well, listen, I was nervous about it because, again, you're a fantasy writer, and I thought, well, this is going to go dark. So no, but you reassured me this morning in the chat. You were like, it's okay. I write more than just fantasy. So we were like, okay, we're going to throw it to you and see what you do with it.
I loved it, Richard.
thank you. I thought you did a really good job finishing it off. I had that idea for where I wanted to end my segment. So it was like, how do I get here? So the dead daughter that she was kind of hallucinating about was just a total curveball for me. I just thought, oh, why not?
I was, when the best friend was dead, I was like, oh my gosh, like, it was like twist upon twist. Oh, now see, this was the person who I knew would love it and appreciate it, Anita, right? Who was on the stream. She was like, well, it doesn't matter if you give me the kid's story, someone's going to die. And I was like, okay, well, next time I put you and Richard Holiday together, and no one kills kids like Richard, and you guys are going to have a great time. Right. Hey, Stephanie, good to see you. No worries. Thank you for being here. Well, Richard Holiday, thank you so much for doing this. I was very last minute that I called him up and said, hey, is there any chance you would do this? And he was like, yes, absolutely. And
I had no problem agreeing to this.
Here,
my pleasure. Just want to say well done, Shanon, on the book launch. I can't wait to read both of them. I'm really thrilled for your kind of success. I think those numbers are amazing. I look forward to going over your videos again with a fine-tooth comb and a notebook for when I do my next release. So it's very exciting.
Thank you.
This is a huge day. I could not be more excited for you. I am hoping that we keep your book at #1 through Friday and beyond. I don't know if we can do it, but we're going to try. So we'll keep pushing the word out there and telling folks to get out there and buy Soul of a Rose.
Awesome.
Right now. Buy multiple copies. You know.
Exactly.
Buy bunches of them.
You have the ebook and you have the paperback version.
Yes.
So there's 2 sales there at least. So, you know.
I had started some questions from people, but
I'm happy with where it's at right now, and I don't expect it to last in #1 for very long. Things change so quickly on Amazon, so I'm happy for just what has happened already.
It's amazing, incredible, and we're here to cheer you on. We're so excited for you and excited for all of the amazing things ahead. I had some other questions for you folks. I lost them somehow. I'm not sure where they went, but there were some great questions for Shanon. If anybody has some that I didn't ask, drop them quickly, because we are getting to the tail end of our time together before I let our famous author get back to her hordes of fans on Amazon. Thousands of them now. 2,778?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. Probably more now.
That's a lot of fans. Yes, you're getting lots of love for your videos, for the marketing videos. So I am all about promoting that, because I'm going to put Shanon up next to me because it's her big day. Sorry, Richard, you got demoted.
Another 60 ebook sales have gone through for the, well, not sales, but downloads for the first book. Yeah. And I think it was like 2 more Soul of the Rose.
Look at
Soul of the Rose.
Look at you go. Like, I am here for all of it. Yes. Well, that was amazing. Well, what else can we do as a community to support you and your books? What else can we do for you?
I think you touched on that earlier, where I'm looking for at least 2 more people that will show up as verified purchases, which you and I talked about that you did that and it didn't show up as a verified purchase for another author. So even if someone does it, there's no guarantee it's going to come up as a verified purchase, but I need 2 more for this one promotion I really want to get. So
yeah. we will push for it. Anybody out there? I know Bex bought the copy like I did. So Bex can review as well. So there's a couple of them. So we'll get you there. And that's so exciting. And with that, I'm going to wind things down and tell everyone I am so grateful for everyone that came and hung out with us today. Our 3 winners, Natalie Locke, $5 Amazon gift card. Carol Brown won the $10 Amazon gift card. And J.M. Seeley is getting a paperback copy of Soul of a Rose. He will need to hurry, scurry, and download the free one while it's still free. Over on, right? It's free through Friday. Is that what you said?
Yes, Blood of the Lily is free. Soul of a Rose is 99 cents. Yeah.
Well, I'm sending him Soul of a Rose. So if he wants to read the first book, it's free.
He's actually got the first book as a paperback.
Oh, well then he knows what he's doing. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then good. I'm sending you the second book. You're welcome. And I want to thank everyone for being here. We appreciate you all so very much. I'm going to quickly say our goodbyes to folks. Thanks for being here. Amelia, love ya. Have a good night. We're heading out too. Maggie, good to see the Barrett Laurie hour. I like that. It just, let's see. I will leave a review as soon as I finish. There's another review. Natalie just bought it. Haven't read it yet. Thank you. Great release party. Thank you. Well, we're trying. Well, we love you all. And here is your co-host wishing you the best, Morgan Lee. I love you all so very much. You know I love these two, Richard and Shannon. Shannon, congratulations. I am so, so happy for you. I'm glad you chose us to come here and party on your book. It's been a great time. And I am so, so happy for you and for Soul of a Rose. So with that, we'll see you later, everybody.
Bye.